That's the maddest thing I've ever seen in this studio. That is the mad. What was going on in your head there?
I feel disgusting. I don't know.
I cannot believe what I have just seen. Robert, do you think it's possible to hypnotise me and Stevie right now?
I mean, we can definitely give it a go. I'm gonna take these off. I'm gonna go and stand next to you to start with, Stevie. Stevie, I want you to sit back in your chair for me for a second. That's lovely. And I'm just going to pull the mic away from you ever so slightly. You can have it back in a second. So what I want you to do for me, I'm going to shake you by the hand. I want you to look at my fingers. I move my finger in towards your face. Just focus on my fingers. It moves in towards your face. It might move up, it might move down, it might move sideways, but just keep following my fingers. It moves in towards your face. As it goes in and out of focus, as it moves closer towards your face, just take a nice deep breath in, just relax. And sleep, thinking, relaxing, drifting all the way down, deep, deep asleep. Now, Stevie, I'm going to take your left hand, I'm going to place it onto the table just in front of you. I want you to flatten that hand out for me onto that pad and push down as hard as you possibly can. And as you push that hand down, imagine I'm going to start to superglue and stick and lock and glue that hand tightly down towards the table, just like this, sticking it, locking, gluing down tighter and tighter right now. Imagine I'm pouring the world's strongest glue, the world's strongest cement, the world's strongest concrete over your hand, so that if you were to try and lift that hand up, you'd find that you just couldn't. Now, what I want you to do for me is just try and lift that hand, but you'll find the harder you try, the harder and tighter it sticks. Keep your eyes tightly closed. Really try and lift that hand off the table. Really try as hard as you possibly can without breaking the table to lift that hand off the table, just like that. And what happens is that suddenly just unlocks now. You can lift your hand up. That's a little bit weird, isn't it? I'll tell you what, in fact, just stay where you are for a second and just...
What?
Just sleep, relaxing, sinking, drifting all the way down. Now, I'm going to go back to my seat. You can sit there and just relax there for the next few minutes' time. Now, Stevie, as you sit there now, you can hear the sound of my voice. Just nod your head if you can hear the sound of my voice and you can hear my words clearly in the center of your mind. Now, Stevie, as I talk to you now, the number 5 is completely disappearing from your mind. In fact, no, the number 5 is still there. The number 7 is completely disappearing from your mind right now. The number 7 just sort of doesn't exist to you. So that if in a moment I was to ask you a question where the answer is 7, you'll find that you just couldn't tell me the answer. A simple question, you just couldn't tell me the answer. If I ask you to count past 7, you'll glide straight from 6 to 8 without really thinking about it. Just nod your head if that makes sense. That's good. For now, eyes open, wakey, wakey, rise and shine. So, Stevie, you're from Norwich, right?
I am, yes.
Yeah, cool. And you went to school in Norwich?
Yes.
Great. I'm interviewing you guys now. This is so here's an interesting thing. Did you learn to count when you were at school?
I did.
You did? Okay,
yes.
Great. What I want you to do for me is I'd like you to count nice and slow, nice and loud, nice and clear into the microphone for me from 1 to 10.
Okay.
Nice and slow into the mic.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Good.
8, 9, 10.
Excellent. And just sleep, relaxing, sinking, drifting all the way down, deep, deep sleep. Now, when you wake up this time, in the next few moments' time, Stevie, you'll find that when you wake up in the next few moments' time, you'll find that you can't remember your first name. Your first name is just gone from your mind. And the harder you try and remember what it is, you might even be able to start to sort of the first letter. You might even start be able to go for it. But the harder you try and say your first name, the more and more it's just gone from your brain. Nod your head if that makes sense. Good. For now, you can open your eyes open, wide awake. So then, what's your surname, by the way?
White.
White, that's right. And you're from Norwich?
I'm from Norwich.
That's lovely. And how old are you?
28.
28. You had to think about that a bit too hard there. I haven't done anything there. And your first name is? Just your first name is fine.
Come on. What's your first?
I don't like it.
What's my name?
Jaack.
What's your name?
I feel like I want to cry. I'm not even joking.
That's a really bizarre thing, isn't it? The weird thing is that as I click my fingers, the name just comes straight back into your mind now.
What's your name?
Stevie.
There you go.
What?
I feel rank.
That's the maddest thing I've ever seen in this studio. That is the mad... What was going on in your head there?
I feel disgusting. I don't know.
I cannot believe what I have just seen, because Stevie's very competitive and he doesn't like to be proven wrong, right? So he is, I didn't want to say this at the start, but if there's anyone that's not going to work on it, it'd be him. He would just go, it's Stevie. He would want you to look. But so that is the maddest thing I have ever seen. So Stevie, I know you wouldn't bullshit. It's real, right?
I feel so weird. I'm so aware of what's going on, but I feel like there were moments where I felt like I could just choose not to go with it.
Yeah.
But obviously I want to for this.
Yeah.
It's such a weird sensation.
Really?
It's that description I gave you earlier. People know what's happening, and you know what you're doing. You just sort of feels
I'm
right.
so
and you can't
aware.
Stop yourself from doing it.
So in that moment, did you know what your name was then?
I think so.
But you couldn't say it?
I couldn't find it. That's how it felt.
Like a tip of the tongue, like
yeah.
You know when you're trying to describe that feeling.
Yeah, like the counting thing felt fine.
Yeah.
Because the counting thing was the 7. Yeah.
Yeah.
So for some reason, my brain just kept 7. That was the only thing I could remember.
Yeah.
But then with my name, I was like, it just gone. I could remember my middle names.
Wow.
Because when he asked me, I almost said Brian. I was almost Brian Anthony White, and that was my full name
Wow.
for that moment.
That's blown me away.
As you said, I don't like not being in control. Like, it does feel like a little bit like tipsy in a way. Like a little bit like there's something not right.
And what's interesting is that experience is the experience that everybody is sort of different on.
Yeah.
Everybody sort of says that experience is different.
So did you choose him because I'm not susceptible to it?
No, not really. I just thought I could get him a bit quicker.
Right. Do you reckon you could get me
I
or
think I
not?
probably could, yeah.
Should we give it a
bit
go?
Longer. Can do, yeah.
Yeah?
I'm going to take this back off.
Okay.
Oh, I want to watch it because I haven't seen this.
Look at me. Take a nice deep breath in. Let your arm go loose and floppy and relaxed for me. That's good. Look at me. Take a nice deep breath in. Just relax and just sleep. Sinking, relaxing, drifting all the way down to deep sleep. Now, when you wake up in the next few moments' time, you'll find that your first name has completely disappeared from your mind as well. Your first name has completely disappeared from your mind, as has the name of this podcast. Suddenly you're very confused and you can't remember what your own podcast is called. You're going to go ahead and introduce yourself and Stevie in the podcast, but suddenly you find that it's all very strange because you can't quite remember what the names of those things are. And you'll try and piece it together. It's almost like it's on the tip of your tongue, but the harder you try and say it, the harder it is to say. Nod your head if you understand. That's good. Eyes open, wide awake. Wakey, wakey, rise and shine. So, if we're about to do this, if we're about to do the podcast then, you're here, I'm here, Stevie's here, we're good to go. Do you want to just sort of introduce yourself and him and me in the podcast?
So my name's Jaack, and this is Jaack Mate's Happy Hour podcast.
Ah, never mind.
Oh, shit. I really wanted it to work on me.
Yeah, I had a feeling it would, but never mind.
This is interesting, though, because what was the feeling? What were you getting that it wouldn't work, and then it would work on Stevie?
Really hard to describe.
Is it?
Yeah, I can't even, it's a gut feeling of just having done
Is it
loads
really?
and loads, yeah.
If anything, that's more proof, though, because it's got you.
Yeah.
I'm blown.
I don't like that it got me.
Yeah.
I wanted to be got, but there's still something in me that, because I'm so like...
That's also not to say that you can't be hypnotized. If you came along to my show in a different environment where it's not 1,000,000 degrees and like under different circumstances, then it absolutely could work.
Yeah, that's why I asked the question about having an overactive brain. Because I was really trying to go with it. I was really trying to think of what you were saying, but I kind of felt like I could say it. Could you just not...
Not for that, it just felt lost. It was really weird. Like, that's what I mean. I felt like kind of out of control over something so simple.
Right.
And my brain like scrambled, and I hate that. Like I was like overthinking, like going, what the...
That is incredible. That's incredible. I really want to be hypnotized, though, properly.
Come to the show.
I will. Where, when? God, I can't even get words out now.
He's forgotten every other word.
Yeah.
He's just like, Jaack, happy hour.
Where can people go and see you?
So I'm on tour. So I'm in Edinburgh for the whole of August at the Edinburgh Fringe. You can come along. The show is completely free. Just come and enjoy it.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm on tour through September and October, up and down the country as far south as Cornwall, and then finishing the tour up in Newcastle. If you go to roberttemplehypnotist.com, all the dates are on there.
I think when I looked earlier, he's coming to Thetford.
Are you?
That's true.
That's
yeah.
where you
Oh, we'll come along to that.
Yeah,
are there
that
still
sounds good.
tickets available?
There
for that?
are.
Okay, lovely. We will pop along. Mate, it's been an absolute whirlwind. I really am struggling to talk right now. It's weird. I don't know if it's because I feel so relaxed. So, like, normally
I feel really heavy.
Yeah.
Like it's like...
Yeah, you will. It is
Yes.
it is a very relaxed, heavy sensation.
Oh, strange.
We did a little experiment off camera with the books thing, the same thing that you showed the audience.
Yeah.
Was I susceptible to that or not?
Yeah, but harder. You were fighting against it, so your arms would move. You'll see it on the camera, and then and then you would like nudge them back to where they should be, almost.
Oh,
which is an
okay.
interesting thing you
And
sometimes
did
see.
Stevie's not?
And no, he didn't. He was just sort of going for it and going for it.
I could feel my arms drifting though. Like I was aware that it was happening.
Yeah.
So it was a really weird sensation. Like my left arm just felt heavy, and my right arm felt that my shoulder started to hurt a bit because it's raised, and it's obviously on that the blood's then going back down.
Yeah.
So I knew it was happening, but I felt like I was just letting it happen.
Yeah, that has blown me away. Seeing you forget your name, that is honestly, I will never forget that.
Normally it's just our guests who forget. So that was
Is it possible to hypnotize our listeners or our YouTube viewers?
One of the things I do quite a lot for like online stuff are these suggestibility tests, because it is a thing that anyone can try from anywhere and just see theoretically how good their imagination is.